In a week and a half, Niabi Zoo officially opens for the season. Here to talk about what's new is Joel Vanderbush, Niabi's curator of conservation and education. Joel, welcome back.
It's good to be here again.
Yes, it's great to see you. Whenever we see you on the TV, it usually means there's something cool happening. And that is not only opening day at the zoo, but so many other things that we'll touch on here today. So, of course, Niabi is opening on April 30th, so it's coming up. But the zoo had kind of a tough winter. So we didn't get a lot of snow, but we got a lot in a matter of what, a day and a half.
Yeah.
And that really caused some problems for you guys.
Yeah, when you get like almost 2.5 feet of snow within a week. We realized that on one of our exhibits it was about a 1,500 square foot roof, and estimated about 19,000 pounds was sitting on there, which in zoo terms is about 1.5 adult bull elephants.
Oh,
and you go, oh, no wonder that roof fell in, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we've had a lot of construction crews out, you know, for these past couple of months, and that will continue through the season as we continue to rebuild. And but at the same time, we do have new exhibits as well.
Yes, and we're going to talk about all of that, but we just want to remind folks, if you love the zoo, which of course you should, because this is a resource that we have in our community. We have to love it, we have to take care of it. So if, you know, there are ways that people can donate to help you guys kind of get back
Absolutely,
back to normal.
Yep, we do have our Zoo Recovery Fund. So of course, if you just go to niabizoo.com and click donate, there's a box that says specifically Zoo Recovery Fund to help us with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so there's so much more to look forward to, as you mentioned, and that includes your conservation speaker series. Tell us about that initiative.
Well, of course, we did this in 2018 and 2019. You know, we brought 24 conservationists in 24 months from all around the world. You know, it was really intense. And of course, the pandemic stopped all of that. But this year, you know, we felt we could get back on track with that. Maybe not quite as many, but you know, we can still make a great impact. So we've got 3 currently scheduled. We've got, of course, Dr. Travis Lavery, who's coming out tomorrow.
That's tomorrow, yeah.
And then we've got Dr. Greg Rasmussen from African Painted Dog Research Trust coming out in May. And then Mary Dagg is going to come out and talk about giraffes in June. So people can, of course, find that on our website, too.
There's lots to look forward to on the calendar at Niabi. So tell us a little bit about the wildlife biologist that you have coming tomorrow, because what he's talking about is very pertinent.
Oh, absolutely. So, of course, tomorrow is actually a special day for us because it's a preview day for zoo members and the Prairie Dog donors. So those that donated to the Prairie Dog exhibit also get this special invitation to come preview the exhibit before everybody else. And in doing so, we thought, hey, if we're going to be showing our prairie dogs, then we should really do some conservation talks about prairie dogs as well. And so Dr. Travis Lavery is one of the world's foremost authorities on prairie dogs and an endangered species, the black-footed ferret, and the relationship between those animals. And so he'll be there tomorrow from 9 to 10 so that guests can meet him there at the exhibit. And then at 10:30 he's going to be doing his conservation talk, and that one is actually open to the public. People can register for that. So while the preview is for zoo members and donors, the conservation speaker event is for everyone to register.
That's fabulous. So people can go online and do that. He's going to be speaking tomorrow, but again, this all ties into your new Prairie Dog exhibit. So tell us about the exhibit itself. It's very exciting.
Oh yes, I mean, the first thing, of course, is you have to think about, you know, these are environmental engineers, right? They're really prolific diggers. And so in designing that exhibit, we were like, okay, we need to make sure that the prairie dogs stay in that exhibit and don't dig under the walls. And so we designed the exhibit. It's really, you design it from the ground up, right?
Yeah, underground
Well, we
up.
had to think from the underground up, exactly. We had to go deeper into the ground and then put, you know, like a mesh barrier under the ground and then fill it back in with dirt and built the exhibit on top of that so that they can't go that deep. But they can dig pretty deep tunnels. Because out in the wild, you know, they dig huge tunnel complexes that are called prairie dog towns, and we wanted them to still be able to dig lots of tunnels because they're going to live in those tunnels year round.
They're prairie dog towns.
Yeah, exactly.
How can you not love that? And there's what, more than 30 prairie dogs?
Yeah, we have 37. We just went in there about a week and a half ago, and it was great because on that day they just did exactly what prairie dogs are supposed to do and just started digging.
They built our town.
They just started digging tunnels like crazy. It was great.
I love that. So you guys work with a lot of endangered species at the zoo, but interestingly, prairie dogs are not on the endangered list. a lot of people there's mixed feelings on that.
Absolutely. You know, we work with 11 endangered species, both critical and just regular endangered species there at the zoo. And prairie dogs are one of those that we think they probably should be on the endangered species list, because 98% of their population has been exterminated, you know, over the past 150 years of persecution against them. And that's because those animals are highly politicized, and they have been nominated 3 different times to be put on the endangered species list, but it never comes to a vote. And this kind of falls back to the politics of prairie dogs. And it's a conservation story that really needs to be told.
And people will be able to hear more about it, I'm sure.
Absolutely, yep. We have a wonderful education graphics that will be there at the exhibit, and they can read about that story, have interpreters there to learn all about that.
Okay, well, it sounds like an amazing day. And to learn more about the conservation series or to become a donor, all you have to do is visit niabizoo.com. Also, check out the event calendar, because there is just a ton going on. We're off to the races, really, April 30th. So,
Absolutely.
Joel,
yeah, we're ready to go.
Thank you so much for coming today.
It's my pleasure.
Well, still to come.